Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. With this video we are going to look at the trades we took this week. Majority I posted on the group, but some of them I did not post because I took a risk entry. So I'm just waiting for a safe entry for me to give for my premium members. So if you are not in yet, look on the description and you'll get the instruction how to join my mentorship program. So we are going to look at few pairs that we took throughout this week and last week, because majority of my trades, as I say, are usually long-term trades, swing trades most of the time. So all of these trades over here, you can see I have quite a few. Majority I took from last week, because volatility on the market this week volatility was so high. Yeah, this week was so high, so a lot of trades went on our way and they were quite nice to see. So I just decided to post this, so just to show you how I took the trades. Okay, so we're going to start with Kiwi CAD. Kiwi CAD, we had this pattern since last year. I think I remember telling you guys about this pattern, and this one is a weekly pattern, which was a nice one. And I remember telling you guys that you can see this push over here was impulsive, so we expect a pullback, perhaps up to this value area we have just marked, then we continue to the upside. This is my take on the next potential move on this pair. So once we took this trade to the upside, we are already out on the buys. For me, I'm already out on the buy. I'm in for the sells now, but the sell is going to be a corrective one, because I'm expecting to be a pullback. Yeah, so I'll be expecting some deep pullbacks, some deep drawdowns, and then we continue pushing down up to this area. That's where again we enter again for the swings to the upside. Yeah, so going down to our daily time frame, we managed to get this first impulse to the downside. This was a lovely impulse to the downside, and then I just waited for the price to tag my value area. Now, since I don't enter on a daily time frame, because if I could have entered on daily time frame, I could have just set my order on this value area, and then stop loss should be above this last buy candle before the sell. And as you can see, my stop loss will have been so big. It will have been around 73 pips. So I don't want that. I want a stop loss that is less than 50 pips. So what I did is I went down to a lower time frame, wait for the price to react on that level. And also remember, I gave this one also for my premium members, the buy, because I knew once we saw this push, I knew that the price can come back up to this area, because this is the area that we were expecting for the price to push to the downside. That's why we look at the bigger time frame, because we can trade both the pullbacks and the continuation to the downside. That's why we look at the bigger time frame. So we took the pullback. This one was a very nice textbook setup over here. We took it all the way to the value area where the price was intended to continue to the downside, which was a nice 200 pips over there. So once we reach this area, since I take my trades on lower time frame, maybe most of the time is 1 hour time frame, I looked at the reaction on this level. Once the price reacted to it, I look for my another value area. Okay, my value area I had was in this level. Remember guys, I told you where the pattern extends from. You can see this pattern extended from these areas right here. So once the pattern extended from this area, this is where the next our entry was to be. So I could have even taken this trade from this area right here. Okay, stop loss will have been a bit high over here, but you can see since we are in 1 hour time frame, it's not above 50 pips, it's at 7 pips stop loss. So this one could have catered for a stop loss. Yeah, so this one was a first entry. Then the second entry came again in this area over here. The price pushed up again, corrective up to that value area. So I decided to take that entry on this value area over here. Okay, so the price tagged me in on that same value area, pushed down, pushed up again, and I had not pushed my stop loss down yet, because we need to break this low over here before we look at that stop loss. We are trading with the higher time frame, guys, so we need to break that low before we push our stop loss to break even. So the stop loss was above and our entry was here. So it was same entry as this area over here. Price played around over there and then decided to drop the downside. Now once we drop the downside, breaking this low, that's why I did set my stop loss to break even, okay, because I did not expect again the price to come and tag again this area, okay. So once the price tagged this, broke this low, pushed up, so I was having a doubt over here whether to close my trade or not, because you can see this push was over here was corrective, breaking the low, then it pushed to the upside. So once I saw this push to the upside, I got worried about the trade because the push was a deep one. You can see the push was a deep one, but also I know that this one is a pullback. This one is a pullback on a higher time frame. So we do expect these big pullbacks to happen. Okay, so once we pushed all this area, I waited for this price to push back down again, and when the price pushed the downside, I had set my stop loss above this high, because if we corrected over here and push and break this high again, then it means that the price will be pushing higher. Okay, the price will be pushing higher. So I did set my stop loss just above it over here, just it save us break even, but in good luck the price dropped the downside quite nicely. And right now my target is the overall 90, this low over here, because this one is an expanding pattern. So this one will be so far we are running how many pips? Let's see, we are around 222 pips. My target for the first this is the area that I will take my first profits. Yeah, my first profits I'll take when we reach at this low over here, which will be nice. It will be around 267 pips. So that's the first area that I'll secure my profits. Yeah, I have not yet secured profits on this one. I've just moved my stop loss. So once I secure profits over there, my overall target will be all the way down here, because I've already told you guys that's where I expect this price to go. Okay, that's why I expect this price to go all the way to this low over here. Okay, all the way to this low. Okay guys, so this one will be a nice one. Let's see how it goes. Another trade we took was Euro GBP. This one also posted on my free channel. This one was a bit disappointing because it took us out quite aggressive actually, despite having all this pattern. You can see we had this pattern over here. Yes, this one was a third touch for this push to the upside. So you can say this expanding channel, this was the entry over here for this buy. Yeah, you can say this was the entry for that buy. But for me, I looked at this pattern over here, so I wanted to take advantage of this pattern right here, push down, correct, then we continue again to the downside. So what I did is I went to a lower time frame and I look for an earlier entry than this one, because for us to get the safest entry on this one, we were to wait for the price to break this trend line right here. But you can see the price never broke the trend line. So we took a risk entry on 15-minute time frame, and I think I also posted this on free channel. I took a 15 minutes over here where the price broke the inner channel. That's where I marked my value area, and then my stop loss was just above this overall high. It was around 45 pips. So the price played around and broke again to the upside, taking me out on this trade. So this is the loss that I took, one of the loss I took this week. So if I have another loss, we'll probably see it. And my target was in this value area right down here. So if this price decides to come back down, then I'll still look for this trade up to all the way to this area. So be on alert on this one. But so far it doesn't look good for sales. Another trade we took on, actually this one we missed because it didn't tap our value area. Okay, so we were waiting for this price to come all the way to this value area, give us that push all the way to this area. Then from this area we were to take this trade again to the downside. So I don't know if the members took this trade to the downside over here because it had already started, but for me I did not take the trade to the downside just because we have missed the lower one. So for me, I'm cautious. Yes, this price might go to the downside, but you can see my target will be in this level, because from here again we might get that push. You can see this push now, it's becoming corrective over here. So there is high chance we might push again to the upside. So I did not take that sell after missing this drop from here. So I'm waiting again to see if this price will come tap this area, push up, because with this one now taking the buy will be a risk entry, because I was expecting this buy to be a pullback to this value area. So I'll be expecting this price to push up from here, then wait for another pullback. That's where I will take the entry for the buys, because you can see from the daily chart, if I'm to go to the daily chart, you can see this pattern over here shows us that the price will drop to the downside, and my target is in this level. So that at the same time we might again continue pushing to the upside, because I still have a value area which hasn't been tapped up there. Okay, so we are on both sides over here, so we are going to just react on how the price will form. Okay, so on 4 hour, what I'm targeting is these buys. So I'll be waiting to see if this price will drop up to this value area, tap it, push up, pull back, then that's where I'll enter. Okay, so with this one, it was a nice trade, but we just didn't get that entry. Our entry was not triggered. Next trade we took was Euro USD. Euro USD was just nice, guys. Euro USD was just nice. This one was a very clean pattern over here. This was a very nice pattern over here, a push up, pullback, and a push to the upside. The pullback that we took the entry was on 15-minute, guys. 15-minute time frame pullback. Okay, this one I did post to my members, and this one was a lovely one. This one was just perfect, guys. This one was perfect. So the price pushed all the way to the first target was the 90%, which was here. That was the first target. So I know most people close their trades once we reach this 90%, but looking at that candle that broke that level, that's why you don't close your trade too early. You wait and see the price action, because the price might continue pushing on your direction. So you can see the way we broke that level, quite impulsive, and once I saw this candle, I just moved my stop loss halfway of that candle to see how the price will react. And when the price continued and broke and tapped this upper trend line over here, this pattern, we have this outside pattern. Once we tap that pattern, that's when I closed my trade, because that is the third touch of this down move. Yeah, that is the third touch of that down move. Now, as you can see, this push to the downside is aggressive. This push to the upside is aggressive, same as this push to the downside. It's like a V shape. So the first entry that I had in mind was when the price taps this area over here. Okay, so this was the first entry right there, where the price extended, where the pattern extended. So the first entry was here, okay, where the pattern extended. But as you can see, I did not take this entry. This entry had nice stop loss, around 10 pips stop loss, but I missed this entry and the price continued going to the downside. Now, once I missed that entry, I looked for another entry, of which I got it right here. This is another reversal pattern. You can see this U-shaped pattern over here. This is another form of a pullback pattern, which it's a bit advanced, but I learned it on Falcon. Falcon uses this U-shaped pullback quite nicely. So this was the pullback, and then the price continued dropping to the downside. So my entry, the way I got my entry, I can't really show you guys over here. Sorry for that, but there is a way we got to this entry, and then the price continued to the downside. Yeah, and right now we are still active in this. I'm not sure if I did post this entry. I'm not sure if I did post this one to my members. I'm not sure, just because this one could be a risk entry. This one could be a risk entry because it could have been the beginning of that a bigger pullback up to the previous entry, which was here. It could have been a bigger correction to this area, then it dropped the downside. So it was a bit risky. So I'm not sure if I did give this one. Okay, I'm not sure. But if you're in my VIP membership and you want these risk entry trades, also you can just let me know, and I'll personally DM you, sending you the signals for these ones, the risk ones. Okay, just let me know if you are interested in, because I try to play as safe as possible with on the group channel. Okay, The other trade was on euro, was on dollar Swiss franc. Even this one I did not give out. This one I did not give out also, but this one had a very nice pattern. You can see we had this expanding pattern over here, breaking the low, and then we push up. This one was a very nice psychology pattern over here. Okay, we broke the low and then the price pushed up. So my entry also on this one was on 15-minute time frame, and this entry was just I can say it's like a sniper entry. Yeah, I just got triggered and the price pushed the upside. Yeah, this one was a very nice entry. You could have taken the order block. Probably the order block would have been this green candle over here, a stop loss just below it. So I already knew where my stop loss should be, was below that low, and the price broke all the way to that level. You can see I have this value area because there is high chance the price might react from this area. You can see this push was aggressive, and again we have another aggressive push again to the upside. So you never know what the price might do. For me, this one I'm out, but from where the price is at my value area for potential correction, and then we continue again to the upside. That's what I'm seeing on this pair. And probably what I can also see is this expanding sort of pattern over here. We break this high, then we continue the downside. So I'm seeing this pattern right here. I don't know if it's clear to you guys, but to me, I think that's also clean to me. I can see this expanding pattern forming. We break again this high, then we continue to the downside, because the push is still corrective to the downside. The overall push on this pair is corrective to the downside. If I'm to go to a higher time frame, you can clearly see we are correcting to the downside. Yeah, this correction is not yet finished. This correction is not yet finished. When it's finished, we'll know, guys, because this, you can see we just pierced this low. So some people can take this at a double bottom. So they'll be waiting for this price to come back again this area for them to take buys. But for us, we know the price can break this high, break this low again, continue for a little bit, then we push the outside, probably forming this pattern right here. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing happening. Okay, so we'll see how that goes, but so far so good. This was a lovely trade that I took. This one was a very lovely trade that I took right here. Okay, you can see my trades, like almost all my trades are over 150 pips. I don't look for small trades, guys. So you can see, as much if they go to a drawdown, I take a very less loss compared to how much I win per trade. Okay, because with this one trade is enough for me to lose even 3 trades and I'll still have profit on my account. Okay, so that's why I look for big trades. The next trade was on Euro USD. Aussie Swiss Franc. This pattern was so open and so obvious, guys. You can see we had an expanding pattern. Within it, we had this ascending channel, and we had this high which was to be broken. Yeah, this one was so nice. So with this one, we had 2 entries to take. For me, this one I was so confident on this pattern that I just took a risk entry and a safe entry. Okay, so to begin with, the first entry that I took was a risk entry, and you can see once we tapped the outside pattern over here, the price went to the downside, then started pushing up corrective. This was so corrective. If I'm to go to a 15-minute, you can see this one is corrective. So once I saw that push corrective, I marked this, the last red candle, the last buy before sell is this big green candle over here. But you can see the red candle took liquidity of the previous green candle. So meaning on this sell candle, there is a buy. When you go to a lower time frame, there is a buy candle. This one is a buy to sell candle, yeah, because the wick took liquidity of the previous candle. So this one is a buy to sell candle. So this one is the order block that I took. Okay, so the price tagged me in, and you can see with that order block, it was so nice because looking at my stop loss was 14 pips. So this one was the risk trade that I could have taken, because I could not have lost that much in this trade. Yeah, so that was the risk entry that I took. And then the other entry that I took was, again, as I tell you guys, where the price breaks a pattern right here. Where a price breaks a pattern, that's where the price will usually pull back to. Okay, so if I'm to go to a 15-minute, maybe you'll see it clearly. This week was so nice, guys. This week was just so nice. Okay, so as you can see, where the price broke was this area right here. Yeah, so this is where the price broke and extended to the upside. So I did expect this price, whenever we start again to push to the downside, I expect the price to pull back again to that area. Okay, so that's what happened. I could have taken the trade from this one over here also, but this one I did not see it because it's 15-minute time frame. This one could have taken an hour. Okay, so when I saw the trade, I saw it when the price was a bit low, then it was starting to push again to the upside. So I took the entry from this area because I knew the price is to push to the downside. Okay, and again, this area is also supported with the key area that was broken also. Okay, the key area that was broken also lines up on higher time frame, lines up nicely with that area. You can see on the key area we just tapped with wicks, we broke up with wicks. Okay, so that was a nice one to see, and I was triggered in from there, and the price has gone to the downside. This one I did post to my members. I don't know if they took it or not. The price continued pushing the downside, and my target is on this low. This is my first target where I'll secure profits. It will be on this low over here, and then overall I'll be looking to see this price potentially continuing moving to the downside, because the push to the downside was like, we have a lot of push to the downside, but maybe we can pull back up to this area where we have clean candles. Once we tap this area, we break this high. Once we break this high, we tap a value area at the top over here, then we might continue again to the downside. So that's why I'm focusing on this area. If this is a pullback to this area, because you can see this push to the upside was impulsive, so if this is a pullback, we might get that continuation perhaps up to some certain area up there before we look for that drop again to the downside. So I'm aware of all those moves. That's why you can see my target is where it is right now, but I won't close all my position on that target. I'll just be holding some to see how the price will behave. Okay, so currently we are on how many pips? Over 100, obviously. 126. So we'll see how that one goes. Another trade, Euro Aussie. This one was also a very clean one, and I did post to my members also this one, though I did post it late when I've already been triggered. For me, some pairs I just set my pending order and I leave it. I look at other pairs. Yeah, so for me, sometimes I trade many pairs. I look at almost all pairs I do trade. I trade almost half of the indices are available, so sometimes I can forget to give out some pairs. So with this one, I gave it out when the price was on this level. This is where I gave it, and I told my members that you can still enter this one because the stop loss was still low. The stop loss was, let's see, if your stop loss was below this week, this one would have been probably high. Maybe could have set it below. So this one could be a risk entry because the stop loss would have been a bit higher. But I did give them this one. I told them could have entered. And the good thing is that it never went to a deep pullback. It continued from where I gave them. From here, it just continued pushing higher. And right now, the price is almost tapped my area. And right now, it's starting to push to the downside. I'm still in this trade, but potentially I might close it considering what's happening. I can see this pattern over here. So for me, I did set my target to this area because that's the level where the price has been reacting to, and the price is moving towards the downside. So my focus should be towards the downside. Yeah, my focus to be towards the downside. So I'm expecting this price to tap that area. Then we see if we can continue with the push to the downside. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. So we'll see how the price goes. See how the price will go. But I'm still waiting for my profit to be tapped over there. So we'll see how it will form. But this one I can as well take profits. Another trade was on gold, on silver. Oh man, silver. The metals are. I won't go into detail. I'm just giving you guys a clue. The metals are going to have a very deep pullback. That's all I can say right now. And for gold, For gold is just perfect the way it is. I'll post a weekly forecast for the coming week tomorrow, so it is just perfect for gold. And also for silver is just perfect because the value area, look the way the price played around over here. The value area was not tapped, guys. The value area was not tapped. Looking at this, you can see we almost tapped, but we didn't tap it. Okay, so even when all of this was happening, all I was waiting for is just this area to be tapped. That's all. Once we tap that area, that's where the real momentum will have come in. Okay, same thing happened on gold, but with gold it did tap the value area way earlier and it played around that value area. Okay, so with this one, once I saw the price playing around over here and did not tap our value area, I managed to come up with this pattern. You can see the outside pattern, which is so clean, and then on that I also caught this inner pattern again. So we had these two patterns plus our value area up there, which was a nice indication that this price will drop the downside once we tap this area. So with this one I did take a risk entry. Okay, from 15-minute time frame, this one was a nice risk entry which was worth it. You can see once the price tapped our value area on 15 minutes, look at that candle that tapped our value area. A very nice inverted hammer. Yeah, so from that candle, once that candle closed, I did enter on the next candle. This is the candle that I entered on, and my stop loss above this week, because I don't expect this price to come above this week. This is a risk entry, so we need to be tight with our stop loss. Yeah, so I did take a risk entry on this one. Price continued dropping to the downside, and my safe entry was in this level. So I was waiting for this price. If we manage to break this low, yeah, if we manage to break this low, I was waiting for potential pullback. Then I add another entry on this one to take the trade the downside. So that was the entry that I was also waiting to give out. I waited for that. Even for my VIP members, I posted that entry for them to wait on. Okay, but what happened is the price continued pushing to the downside, very aggressive. In fact, the price continued pushing the downside without giving that pullback. So if I was to wait for that pullback, I would have missed it. So this one was just lucky. With that risk entry, it gave me this lucky trade. This one was a lucky one. And right now, seeing this move, you can see we have broken out of that corrective phase. Okay, we have broken out of that corrective phase. So what I am expecting right now is not the price to pull back all the way to this area. It can happen, yes, but it's so difficult for it to pull back that deep. So I'll be waiting to take my entry on this level. I've just I caught this value area again, so I'll be waiting this price to tap this area. That's why I'll be tagged in, and then we continue all the way to this low, because this is the low that I'm targeting. Yeah, I'm expecting this one to be a big pullback for continuation to the upside. So this one is a swing trade that I'm in currently. This is a swing trade, and currently it's looking lovely. I'm in huge profits on silver. Huge profits on silver. Again, if you want this, if you're in my VIP membership, if you want this risk entry, DM me and I'll be giving you. But for risk entry, just know, be ready to lose, because risk entry, you can't really tell if the price will go on your way, but it's worth it considering how much you'll be risking and how much you'll be profiting. Okay, for me, I can even close this trade because I'm in very, very deep profits, but I'm just deciding to hold. My current stop loss is above this area. Yeah, this is my area where my stop loss is, so I'm targeting this pullback all this area. That's why I'll take my another entry from this area. Stop loss same with the one that I'm currently having, and then we take another trade up to this area. This one looks nice, guys. This is my plan for silver coming next week. Okay, this is my plan for silver coming next week. Okay, next trade was NASDAQ. I think I've given this trade actually on my free channel. I've given NASDAQ. It's not like I didn't give this one. This week was so nice, guys. This week was just so nice. NASDAQ had a very, very lovely pattern. You can see we have this expanding pattern, tapping this key area. After tapping that key area, we are pushing to the downside. So for me, this push the downside I'm taking as a pullback, not I'm not taking this pattern to continue pushing lower. Okay, for me this pattern won't push, is not enough for me to for this pair to push again to the downside, perhaps maybe giving us this sort of pattern. It can happen, you know, the market can do whatever it wants, it can happen. But for me, how I've been seeing this pattern play out, the way I've been trading this pattern, there is high chance, because you can see this is a double top, so there is liquidity above this double top. That's why my value area hasn't been tapped yet. My value area has not been tapped, remember that, guys. So if a value area hasn't been tapped and we are having this double top with a 3-touch pattern, very nice. Okay, this one was a very nice entry. So you can see people are getting trapped on this area. Even people who trade Falcon, they are getting trapped on this area because they are seeing the area as tapped a key area and with a 3-touch pattern. So for this one, I'm taking it as a short-term sales. Yeah, short-term sales up to this area. Up to this area over here. This is the order block. This is the order block. But I've just refined it. Yeah, I've just refined it. So I'm taking this pattern as this trend as a pullback, corrective up to this area. Then from this area, that's where I'll be expecting another push, tapping this area. Then from this area, we'll see how the market will do, because I'm expecting another drop the downside once we tap that area. Once we tap that area, I'm expecting another drop. But we never know, we might continue pushing even higher, because I still have another higher time frame, weekly time frame value area at the top over here that I'm expecting for swings. Okay, so with this pair, anything can go on this pair, but for now these sales are looking nice. These sales are looking nice up to that level. Okay, so I've already given this trade, but I know the entry is the one that is the difficult one over here. Sorry about the noise. Okay, sorry about the noise. So for me, the trade, I took 2 entries on this one. With NASDAQ, we just have to be tight with our stop loss. Okay, with indices. So my value area was on this level over here. Okay, so I did set my order in that level, and again we have that U shape right here. We have that U shape. But before that U shape, I did set my stop loss, my pending order on this area. Stop loss just above this level, and you can see the price took me out and then continued dropping the downside. So it was a bit annoying to see, because it took me up just with a week. It was a bit annoying to see. But after that, this U-shaped pattern formed again. So with this U-shape, I did expect the price to push against the downside. So again, I did set my pending order on that same level again. Okay, again my stop loss same area like the previous one, and right now I'm still in on this trade. Okay, I'm in, and if you are not in yet, there is you can get another entry on this pair. You can probably get, and let me see. This one is a lower time frame entry. Yeah, this is a lower time frame entry. But what you can, let me show you where you can get another entry. Where the price extended, guys, that's where you can get another entry. You can see from this pattern, you can see this is another pattern that price extended up to this bigger one. So from this pattern, what you can do is mark this value area right here where the price broke and extended to the upside. So what you can do is you wait for this price to push the downside. Then once we break this area, set your pending order in this area, because it will come back to that area. Okay, so we set our order right there. Stop loss, if it will give us an area, an anchor point to set our stop loss, will be a nice one. Then target that low for the first at least for the first profits to secure that low from that level over there. Okay, so the next entry will be on this level right there. That will be the next entry. Okay, from there we'll see how the price will move, and we'll manage our trades accordingly. Yeah, we'll manage our trade accordingly. So those are the trades that we took this week, and some of them have been continuing from last week. Okay, and the bonus one is German 40. I'm giving you guys a bonus. Okay, this is just a bonus. German 40. This one I haven't posted to anyone, but I'm just giving guys out there. we have this pattern over here, and I have my value area at the bottom over here. So I'm expecting this price, I did expect the price to break this high. Once we break it, we tap this 3-touch pattern. It gives us this a pullback up to this value area so that we break this inducement level. Then we continue pushing to the upside. This is what I'm targeting on German 30. Yeah. So with that in mind, going down to a lower time frame, we tapped nicely that third touch. Okay, that third touch we tapped nicely over there, and the price broke the downside. And once it broke the downside, I did set my pending order on my value area. This one had a clean value area, unlike NASDAQ. NASDAQ didn't have that clean entry. Yeah, but with this one, the entry is so clean right up there. Okay, so this one I'm in right now, and you can also enter this one because the stop loss is not that big still. If you enter on market open, stop loss will still be, stop loss won't be that big. This stop loss will still be small one. Yeah, this one will still be small. So you can join me on this trade right here. First take profit will be this low. First take profit will be this low because that's the low, previous low that the price has reacted from. Yeah, that's the key area that the price has reacted from. But hold it all the way to these lows. These are swing, guys, as usual. These are swings. You hold it all the way to this area. Okay, I know holding can be a bit psychologically can affect you, seeing that money going positive and negatives. Okay, but you just need to trust the process. Trust the process. So this is the trade that I'm giving guys for a bonus. You make sure not to miss out on this one. If you want a safe entry, if you want to you can see we are on a daily chart. If you want a safe entry on bigger time frame, you wait for this one to be broken, then wait for a pullback, and you enter. Probably that will be our addition. We'll be adding position once we break, and then we get that pullback. Another area you can get entry when we break the overall trend line. Then we get another entry up to this level. So this one will have so many entries. So even if you are worried about that area where I've entered, because it's still early, you can just wait for either of this trend line to be broken, and you wait for your entry. Okay, you can still wait for those entries, and that's this first trend line. Once it's broken is where I'll post this one to my VIP members. Okay, I haven't given them the lower time frame entry, though I know some people have already mastered this technique, and they're taking entries even in 5-minute time frame. But for me, I don't take low entries like that. Okay, so depending on how you master this strategy of mine, you'll be good to go. Now I've been getting some requests on maybe to make a video for how I trade my strategy, and then to sell it out instead of some people don't want to enter in my mentorship program and just stick there for long. So if you are interested in just a video on how I trade I call my strategy wave trading. It's a conjunction of Falcon and smart money concept. Okay, so for Falcon is patterns based, and smart money is for entry based. That's how I mix the two, one for entry, one for pattern, to show the potential move next. Okay, so if you're interested on that, you can DM me. I'll make a video on how I get my entries. I can also make video for you if you are still poor in Falcon patterns, and how I get my entries, the smart money concept. I can make the video for you. Then from there, if you still need guidance, you let me know. But if you are good to go, you just use the technique that I'll teach on that on that video. Okay, so I'm calling my strategy is called wave trading. Yeah, my strategy is called wave trading because it's just too powerful, man. It's just too powerful. Okay, so that's it for this week. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.